Hello friends, welcome back to the bench. Thank you very much for joining me. Our patient is a Lenovo. The model is a Legion 7 16ITHg6. We have an order here for bench fee, but... Oh, and this is from Canada. I did have a note, but I don't know where it is. It's fine though. So, what are the problems with it? It was sent for possibly a backlight fuse replacement because there's no backlight. But when we turn it on, the backlight is actually there. It just dimmed all the way down. So you can read the screen, but you know. So it's not like typical when there's completely no backlight and you shine a little light from the side and you can see the image. No, you can see the image, especially when you do it in the dark. So I checked the backlight fuse, I checked the backlight circuit. Unfortunately, I don't have schematics for it. There is a board view available on BotCaps, if I remember correctly, but I asked around and no one seems to have it. But I don't really need it, the board view. I could use a schematic so I can see how the backlight is controlled. But what I don't see is any electrical issues. No shorts, nothing's heating up. Voltage, we got, what was it, 20 volts? Because this is Lenovo. So yeah, I think it's on 20 volts. I don't remember off the top of my head now. But I checked everything and electrically, I don't see anything wrong. So in those situations, one thing that could be happening here is the EC chip, the software in the EC chip. It's faulty somehow. There could be some electrical issue that I cannot find that is being detected by the EC chip, and that's why the screen is dimmed all the way down. I guess it's possible, but what I can do is dump the BIOS, send it to Let Farmer, and see, actually we're just gonna put the clean new BIOS on it, right? Hopefully it will reprogram the EC chip, although on Lenovo's I don't think that's going to be the case. That's more common on Dell's, but we'll see, hopefully. And we'll see if the problem goes away. Maybe it's just stuck, the software is stuck in some state where it's just dimmed all the way down. Who knows? So this is a double chip solution. Kind of typical on the Lenovo lately. I guess it's a cost-saving tactic. This one is from, I had it here somewhere, 2021, October 2021. So it's a five-year-old machine. So let's see if we can read the chips without desoldering them. Let's clip on and see if we can read. It's kind of a 50-50 because obviously it depends on the circuitry around it. In some cases you can provide a power directly because the problem is that when you connect to that rail you only have, say, 100 milliamps and that current is being drawn by the rest of the circuit, and the voltage is just too low, and that's why you can't read it. In which case, if you just provide steady 3.3 to the board, then you can read it, but not always either. So hopefully we don't have to desolder it, but if we do, that's what we're gonna do. Pin number 1 is marked on both chips, so good. Meaning on the board we got pin 1 here and pin 1 there, so we don't have to remember the chip orientation if we have to desolder it. Also, I don't see, because I removed the board completely looking for like liquid damage or anything like that, but it's negative for liquid, it's negative for any kind of damage that would explain this. So let's see if we can fix the BIOS on this one, if it's a BIOS issue. Alright, the first chip is damped. Now the second chip. Let's see if I got it. It's kind of difficult to, because you can't really see, right? And it's not like you can use the microscope to do that. Let's detect the chip. And we got the chip. All right, first try. So that one was 128, this one is 64. I think we can just use 25Q64BV. It doesn't say what the voltage is. Well, let's try this one. It's a small chip, so it reads very quickly. There you go, and let's save it. And let's send them both to Lead Farmer. Alrighty, both chips are programmed. So now we need to put back the heatsink, because unfortunately you have to take the heatsink off to gain access to the BIOS chip. What are you gonna do? It's Lenovo for you. Okay, I didn't put the back cover on just yet. We're gonna connect it now. So now after the reset, it might take a few minutes to boot. So let's be patient. And power button. It blinked. It's got plenty of LED lights around. Yeah, you can see that. It's crazy. Alright, we got nothing on the screen, which is normal. It's probably gonna take a few minutes. Looks like it rebooted, so that's a good sign. And unfortunately, it's the same issue. This was not a BIOS issue. So, yeah, we can see the image. Yeah, I can't really see anything, I think. But is it? I don't know, because I can see the image. But maybe, yeah, maybe it is a backlight. But the fuse is fine. I don't see anything wrong. Let's take a look at it once again. Because could it be just a screen issue? Yeah, it is, actually thinking about it now. How do we know the backlight and the screen is working? We don't. Because the voltage is going to the screen, the high voltage. All right, let's take a look here. I don't know how I messed up the first time around. So first suspicious part is over here, right? It looks discolored and there's like one pin missing over here. Not sure what's up with that. Then when we lift it, what is all this gunk over here? What is that? Let's take a closer look. Because if I'm reading this correctly, because without the board view we can't really be sure, but this is where the power comes in. We have a fuse over here and there's another fuse over here, but this one is, I think, for something else. Looks like FV3 is a backlight fuse. So all this discoloration over here, yeah, all this gunk over here, where did it come from? Good question. Let's first get rid of it and see if there's any damage to the pins. Yeah, I'm not sure why this pin here is looking different. We may need to replace this whole connector. I see something green over here. It could be a coincidence, but I don't like seeing green on the boards. Okay, I think that's the best I can do, but there's still discoloration on these pins over here. It's kind of like a lot of current went through here, and that's what happened. Now this could be a dummy, right? That's why we don't see it over here. Just so the high voltage is separated from the rest, right? So that's possible that this is normal, but all this gunk, that is not normal. But this is where it connects, right? And take a look at that. Why is the backlight not working? That is why the backlight is not working. That's why we have 20 volts going in. That's why everything on the board looks okay. No blown fuse, no nothing. Because we plainly are missing traces here. But how did this happen? And if I repair the traces, although at this point I probably should instead of repairing this, I probably should just replace the connector if it's not permanently attached to the screen, but probably it isn't. I mean, I don't know. It could be. Um, let's consult eBay and Google and see if we can find this cable and just replace the cable. $25 on eBay. So yeah, I'm not gonna be repairing this because we could repair this cable. I could put a little bit of copper, right, solder it on. It's a very delicate procedure because you can't use too much heat, otherwise the cable will melt. So it's very difficult, but in some cases that's what you have to do, right? But looks like if the cable is $25, I'm not gonna bother with this, which means we're gonna have a part 2 to this. And what did we learn? We learned to always use glasses when you're inspecting. My eyesight is not what it used to be. Actually, I never had great eyesight. But, you know, after 4 decades of life, you know, your eyesight kind of deteriorates. I did disconnect this cable. I flipped this cable and I looked. And for some reason, actually, I'm not sure. So maybe when I removed it, it was still like kind of holding. Those traces were kind of holding, not making connection, but looking good. And now after a few times, well, 2 times removing it and putting it back in, they disappeared. So we should have, yeah, we should have did a little better inspection of the cable. But now the question is, what caused it? So if I replace the cable, if there is a short on the screen essentially, right? Which possibly we could detect here. So the power comes in, judging by the cable, of course. I would say this is ground and this is VCC, right? The main power. So, well, we would have to scrape over here a little to check. Let's see if we can puncture through. So from here, let's get the multimeter and let's see if we can detect any short. So we shouldn't be shorted between here, maybe like this, and here. It's showing mega ohms because I was holding with my fingers. Let's see if we can just scrape some of this. And we have 150K, 180, it's growing. So yeah, the screen seems okay. So the other possibility is some kind of liquid. But when I remove the board, because usually when there's a liquid damage, it's going to be on the other side, right? Because you rarely would, like, you know, spill something on the back of the laptop, right? So usually you spill through the keyboard or, you know, on the top. But there's nothing. It's perfectly clean. No signs of any spillage. I have no idea. Defective cable. I mean, it's possible, but very unlikely, I would say. It looks more like there was something corrosive, because the traces just disappeared, right? So typically on ECMs, it's the leaky caps, right? And they cause the traces to disappear. You know, in liquid damage, sometimes I've seen that in a few videos on YouTube. Just one single drop of salt water or, I don't know, some soda or something corrosive, essentially. Single drop can make it through to where it shouldn't go. So if a single drop made it over here, it didn't leave any traces anywhere around, traces of its being there. So any signs of liquid damage, not there. You would have to be very unlucky, but the only reason I'm thinking that this might be it is because I've seen it before. Sometimes you are this unlucky. But looks like, yeah, we'll see. We're gonna finish here, and there's gonna be a part 2. I'll replace the cable, and we'll see what's gonna happen. Hopefully the backlight will return and everything is fine. But yeah, judging by the voltage that we have and no other damage, I think it'll work. But we're gonna have to wait for it, in which case it's gonna be a pretty cheap repair. Easy pizza. Alrighty, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I shall see you guys in the next one.